Why many men struggle in relationships and how to fix it. You know the guy. Maybe you are the guy. He's thoughtful, he's loyal. He does everything he thinks a good partner is supposed to do, but somehow every relationship ends in the same heartbreaking way. He's left confused, rejected, and asking himself, what did I do wrong? If this feels familiar, it's not a coincidence. Millions of men are stuck in the exact same pattern. Not because they're bad at dating, but because they're carrying around invisible childhood programming that quietly sabotages connection. Today, we're going to drag that programming into the light and show you exactly how to rewrite it. Rewrite your programming. Section 1. The hidden programming. This programming isn't dramatic. It starts the moment you're a boy. Most boys are taught the rules of being a man. Don't cry. Don't ask for help. Don't talk about feelings. Handle everything alone. Be tough. Be steady. Be the rock. Psychologists call this restrictive emotionality, and research shows it's especially strong in boys compared to girls. These rules create what I call the good man's trap. You grow up learning to provide, protect, stay in control, all good things. But in the process, you lose connection with your own emotional world. You become emotionally unavailable to yourself, and then unintentionally to others. Relationships require emotional intimacy. But your programming says emotionality equals weakness. This silent mismatch destroys the connection. Not because you don't care, but because you were never taught how to show that you care. Here's the part most men never realize. This emotional shutdown becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy, pushing people away and creating the very loneliness you fear. Section 2. The symptoms of the programming. This isn't abstract. It shows up in predictable patterns backed by relationship research. Symptom 1. Emotional avoidance. Your partner says, "We need to talk," and instantly your body tightens. You shut down. You say, "I'm fine." You walk away. You crack a joke to deflect. To you, you're avoiding conflict. But to her, it feels like abandonment. Dr. John Gottman, one of the most respected relationship researchers, identified stonewalling as one of the strongest predictors of breakup. Every withdrawal widens the emotional gap. Gottman Institute. 4 Horsemen of the Apocalypse. Symptom 2. The fear of not being enough. This comes from shame. Men taught to hide emotion often grow up believing the real me is unacceptable. Vulnerability equals rejection. Love must be earned. So what do many men do? They pedestalize their partner. They try to become the perfect boyfriend. Over-giving, over-accommodating, over-performing. But here's the truth. No woman wants to be a man's entire source of meaning. It creates pressure she can't hold and a dependency that destroys attraction. Symptom 3. The purpose vacuum. Without a strong internal sense of mission, a man makes the relationship his mission. His goals, hobbies, friendships, personal growth, all fade away. Relationship science calls this fusion, losing your individuality in the partnership. Warren Farrell, in The Boy Crisis, explains that many men grow up without a clear sense of purpose. And when a man tries to fill that purpose void with a woman, the relationship buckles under the emotional weight. Before we get into the fix, if you're seeing yourself in these patterns, I put together a free guide called The 3 Pillars of Masculine Leadership. It outlines the first steps to rebuild confidence and emotional clarity. Link is in the description. Section 3. Where this programming comes from. To change the coding, you need to understand the source. Attachment theory, developed by psychologist John Bowlby, shows that your early experiences with caregivers shape your relationship blueprint. If your caregivers were emotionally distant, inconsistent, dismissive, preoccupied, you may have developed avoidant attachment. As a kid, you learned showing emotion didn't get your needs met. Vulnerability wasn't safe. Self-reliance was survival. This gets wired into your nervous system. Then, in adulthood, you want closeness. But push it away the moment it feels too vulnerable. Add in a lack of emotionally expressive male role models, something many experts highlight as an ongoing issue, and you're left without a roadmap for healthy intimacy. Attachment theory, Bowlby/Ainsworth. Here's the empowering part. Your attachment style is not a life sentence. It's a learned pattern, and learned patterns can be rewired. Section 4. How to rewrite the code. Here are the 3 research-backed practices that actually work. 1. Build emotional literacy. You can't express what you can't identify. This isn't about being emotional. It's about being self-aware. Practical exercise, clinically validated. Each day, write down 3 emotions you felt. Write what triggered them. Write how your body felt. This is straight out of cognitive behavioral therapy and emotion-focused therapy. It reconnects you to the emotional signals you've spent years ignoring. 2. Rebuild your frame, purpose. This counteracts the purpose vacuum. Your frame includes your mission, your goals, your values, your standards. This is essentially what psychologists call self-differentiation, having your own identity separate from your partner. When you build a fulfilling life outside the relationship, you're more confident, less anxious, more attractive, and far less dependent. This creates a healthy, grounded masculine presence. 3. Practice grounded vulnerability, not emotional dumping, not chaos, just honest emotional truth. Example: instead of "I'm fine," try, "I'm feeling really stressed from work today. I just need a moment to decompress." This is what researchers call emotionally attuned communication. It builds intimacy, trust, safety, connection, and it chips away at the shame that keeps many men emotionally isolated. Conclusion. The tragedy of the good guy who fails at love is that he's playing by the wrong rulebook. Not his fault, just outdated programming. But once you see that programming, you gain the power to change it. You move from unconscious patterns to conscious emotional leadership. You're not defined by what happened to you. You're defined by what you choose to build from here. This is Peak Edge Men, sharpening every edge so you lead with power. If this video gave you a new perspective, hit like and subscribe. If this video gave you a new perspective, hit like and subscribe. This journey is just beginning.